Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Anna. I'm sorry about all the wind in the background. It is a very windy day here in Illinois, but today we are going over my top 10 favorites. Beauty products, we're talking skincare, hair care, makeup, top 10 of 2020. Now that's really hard for me to decide. I've actually decided to do top 10 just overall beauty products, and then I think I'm still gonna do a top 5 palettes, because on this channel I do tend to review a lot of eyeshadow palettes. I love purchasing eyeshadow palettes with my money because not only are you guys really into eyeshadow palettes, but I feel like it's just the best bang for your buck. I feel like if I include eyeshadow palettes in this, it's gonna be really hard for me to just pick one. So I think I'm going to do a separate video doing top 5 eyeshadow palettes, which I think is still going to be a little bit hard. Okay, so this is going to be in no order whatsoever. I chose these things based off of how many times I repurchased it, how many times I used it and kept going back and just loved it. Like more than just after the review, I kept using it. I will continue to use it, and it's really made an impression on me. So these are like basically 10 items that became my ride or dies in 2020. Let's go. It's in no specific order. Let's start off with these faux mink lashes from Shop Miss A. These are the AOA 3D Faux Mink Premium Lashes. They're triple layer for a more full dramatic look. They are soft and fluttery. These are made with quality synthetic fibers. It says with proper cleaning they can be used multiple times, which I usually do use them a couple of times, and they're only $1.55. So I do tend to purchase my eyelashes from here now because they're just so inexpensive, and to me just the quality is pretty good for what you're getting. And the ones I always get are called the Amandas right here. I have purchased these probably like 10 times now this year, and each time I purchase from Shop Miss A, I purchase these every time because they're hard not to. They're so affordable, and they're kind of like my go-to lashes. I love them because they're not so dramatic that they're gonna like overtake the look, kind of like the lashes I'm wearing today. They're actually also some 3D faux mink lashes from the same brand, but they're more dramatic. These ones are just light and fluttery, so it's much more dramatic than just regular lashes, but it's still light enough that it's not too thick and overpowering, if that makes sense. So the Amanda lashes have become my thing. The next item is also from Shop Miss A, and I don't like want to be like, oh, I don't want to include the same brand over and over again or same store, but it's just the truth. Something I keep purchasing from, will continue to purchase from always. It is my go-to sponge from Shop Miss A. This is called the Wonder Blender, and this is the mochi version. So I love the mochi sponge the best. It is the softest one. At first I didn't like how soft it was, but slowly I got used to it and I really like it. They have a few different shapes. They have this one, they have the teardropped one, but I love how soft they are, and I just, again, these are $1.88. Like, you cannot go wrong. Very comparable to some of the other drugstore beauty sponges, so this will, I will repurchase this again. I've probably purchased like 6, 7, 8 of them at this point, and they last, yeah, they're just good. I enjoy them. My new favorite foundation, this is my second purchase of this, and it is the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Foundation. So I tried this out when it first came out and I really liked it, and so I picked up another bottle. I've been using 20C1 medium 85N. I love that it has a pump. I love that it's still pretty much drugstore price, and for a hyaluronic acid foundation, it seems to last the longest on my skin. I do have dry skin, but I love the pump. I love the natural finish. This, if you had oily skin, I think you would definitely have to powder. Some hyaluronic foundations I find aren't the most long-wearing foundations, just because they are more hydrating, but out of all the other ones I have tried, it's been it's been one that stayed on my skin longer, if that makes sense. And I've just really been enjoying it, especially the natural finish, the buildable coverage, plus it's a cruelty-free brand. So I also like that you can get it at Ulta now too, in stores, so you can actually go pick it up and you don't have to wait for shipping. But this has been my go-to foundation. If you want a more natural type of coverage, you don't really want a cakey foundation, this one is really great. Again, it's a buildable coverage. I wouldn't say it's full coverage, but you can build it to like probably about a medium. But for every day, it's kind of just my favorite. It blends easy. It's a great foundation. Again, if you have oily skin, I don't know how much this will help you out, but for me, it's really helped a lot. We're getting into a palette, but it is a cheek palette. From Lunar Beauty, this cheek palette. Unless I'm reviewing an eyeshadow palette that has a blush in it, or I picked up a single blush from another collection, this is really all I've been using since I bought it. I go to it daily because it isn't a palette. It's so easy. Honestly, if I didn't review makeup, if I had owned this whole year, this is all I would have needed. And I do have like a review on this, but it does have a mirror inside, and here are the shades. So these blushes are great. They are pigmented, but they also blend out really nicely. And honestly, it's just full of my favorite go-to types of blushes. Like, these are all the shades I gravitate towards when a brand comes out with new singles. And I think this was like $35 or something. I could be wrong, but I'll link it down below. But seriously, so beautiful. I think the only shade that truly doesn't work for me at all is probably this one. It's just so light that it doesn't really get used. But these two especially are my favorites, but I also do use these as well, kind of more like that contour blush method, but I love them all so much. I could have used this and wouldn't have felt like I was missing out on not using any other blushes, if that makes sense. I could have stuck to this palette all year and been very satisfied with it. I love these types of colors, and they're beautiful and they blend beautiful, and highly recommend this if you're into kind of those pinky tone blushes, but also a little bit of peachiness. Yeah, so I just really love this palette. I will continue to use this. It's easy, it's beautiful, works really well. This next product, if I don't mention it, I think you guys would think I was insane, especially if you watch my videos, especially if you watch my tutorials, my demos. It is the e.l.f. Eye Putty Primer. You can get this from like Target, Ulta. I believe it's only like $5 or $6. It is an eye primer. It comes in this little pot. The color I've been using ever since I got it is called Rose, and it just has a screw off cap. I always use my finger, but as you can see, it's been well loved. We are hitting pan. I do think it starts to get a little bit more dry as time goes on, but this guy and me have tested out so many eyeshadow palettes together this year. It's crazy. I don't know. I really like this one. As of right now, it's my favorite primer. Like, it just is. It is a tacky base. It doesn't make any shadows oxidize. If you don't like tacky bases, this is probably not for you. I definitely don't think everyone would love this product, but I do, because I feel like it's really easy to stick down the shadows where you want it and it stays. But the blending, you do have to put more pressure as opposed to just like swiping all nicely. You do kind of have to actually work to blend. But I don't know, there's just something about the way it blends though, where it still packs down and then you work to blend it out, and it just creates kind of this flawless blended look. Keeps the pigmented packed on where you want it, but then blurs it out. It's just really nice, and I found it to work with almost every single palette I've used. I think the only thing you know, I would have to use extra is like a glitter glue to help stick down some glitters or some shimmers, but I feel like it worked with a lot of the pressed pigments that are sometimes trickier to play with nowadays. I used this so much. I 100% will be picking up a new one. I don't know if it'll be the same color. I've thought about picking up the white one. I don't know. But the e.l.f. Eye Putty Primer, you will see it used in like almost all my videos this year. Like a ton of them. So if this hadn't been in my video, I think that would have been really odd. We're already at 5 products. This is insane. Okay, the next one I actually just repurchased today because I need it so bad, and this is a skincare product from e.l.f. It is the Happy Hydration Cream. I've been wanting to talk about this on my channel for a long time because it's amazing. So I've never really used cannabis, hemp-derived cannabis types of creams, but I guess it's supposed to be extra moisturizing. I'm not really sure. I'm not that well versed in knowing about it, but you can pick this up from Target, and I think it's like $12, so it's not that bad of a price. It is a pretty small amount, but it is cruelty free as well, which is awesome. It's free of sulfates, parabens, basically all those other things that nobody wants in their stuff. But ever since I had my son, my skin has changed. Obviously, it must be a hormone thing. So my skin's dry now. It used to be really, really oily, and now it's always dry. And it came to one point where a couple of months ago, I want to say March. Anyways, like in the summertime, my face was just starting to itch. Now I have eczema on other parts of my bodies. I don't know if it's like starting to happen on my face, but my face was itchy as can be, and under my eye actually like started turning really red and raw, and I got worried, like what if it's makeup causing this? What if it's like allergies? I wasn't really sure what was happening. Kept putting face cream on, nothing helped, and I was like, maybe I just need to find a thicker moisturizer, because one night I put Aquaphor on it and it started going away. I started healing it, so I was like, you know what, let's look for a thicker moisturizer so I don't have to keep putting Aquaphor on it. So I picked up this guy from Target, and this honestly like made it 1,000 times better. I don't want to say it like cured it, but it helped so much, and it's the only thing that kind of stopped making my face itch so bad. Like it actually gave me enough moisturization where I didn't feel like, oh my gosh, I need to scratch my face or anything like that. It didn't feel raw and dry. It felt amazing. And so I picked up another one because my face is starting to do the same thing, and I haven't been using this because after I went through this, I actually picked up the e.l.f. I think it's like their vitamin E facial oil, which I do really like, but I think it's still something's not as moisturizing even with an oil versus using this. This is just a thick, luxurious cream, and I don't think it smells like anything either, but yeah, it just smells a little bit fresh, but it's just so nice. It's so creamy and so thick, and if you have really dry skin on your face and you need moisture and you're looking for a drugstore product, highly recommend this. I can't say that it'll be as amazing for you as it was for me, but I'm really happy with this. Hey, that's 2 e.l.f. products in a row. I didn't even notice, but oh my gosh, love this. I really do want to try out more e.l.f. Skincare items this year, but that one is like, depending how it goes this round, I would repurchase it again. This is the Kristen S. Okay, the Kristen S. The one conditioner and the one shampoo. I actually had bought the minis of this, the like, I don't even remember how many ounces in the small ones, but I had those ones, and then these big guys went on sale for half off. Normally they're $20 for the big guys, which is expensive, but if you look at like salon products, those ones are usually a little bit more expensive. So I don't, like 20 is a lot, but at the same time, I feel like it's salon quality. So ever since I worked in a salon, I've had a really hard time finding more affordable shampoos and conditioners, because if you use nothing but high-end shampoos and conditioners for a long time and you go to the drugstore, you can really tell the difference. I'm not talking about like at first like a drugstore shampoo and conditioner might feel great, but over time you can just feel your hair like becoming stringy and dry, and just like there's just a lot of drugstore shampoos and conditioners that I just cannot use, because sometimes I'll try and switch it out just because like I don't want to keep spending a lot of money on it. So I'll like switch from like a better shampoo and conditioner to like not, and I'll just switch it up. But I found that over time using, especially like months later of using really affordable drugstore hair care, like I found like my hair just felt awful. I have really thick coarse hair, so I definitely think that that probably has something to do with it too. But this one I found, so the conditioner is actually really strange because when you put it on, it doesn't really feel like some drugstore conditioners are like, wow, this is great. Like I can run my fingers through it. This is fabulous. But then like weeks on end, you start to notice it's not really moisturizing your hair. It's kind of like that just initial gut feel good feeling, if that makes sense. This isn't like that. Like this, I feel like, yes, it feels a little bit nice and slippery, but it doesn't feel like it's really thick and creamy right away. But I find that after using it, my hair feels really nice. Does that make sense? It's a weightless moisturizer, smoothing and softening shine renewal. It is sulfate free, but that is conditioner. Sulfates, if you're not aware, is what they put in dish soap, and it's what dries out your hair. And this one is this one also is sulfate free, which I think is odd because I think it does bubble. So sometimes you really have to look into that. But these are fragrance and they smell good. I had the purple shampoo when I had my highlights, but I think it's not my favorite scent. It is fragrance though, so I would smell them to make sure. But I just feel like for the drugstore, these are really good products, and I would be willing to test out more from them. And obviously I have a lot to use up, but yeah, they at one point had a 50% off buy, and I just, every time I use it, my hair feels really good. So I think this might be my new, when I can go to drugstore conditioner and shampoo. I really like these. I'd highly recommend testing them out, but honestly, whenever you're testing out like a hair care product and it's new, I always suggest getting the small amount first, because you might end up hating it instead of like having a big bottle like this and then being stuck with it. So I'd always suggest getting the smaller one, but I'm really liking these and really liking this brand, and I want to try more from this brand. So the Kristen S has been like my favorite. I don't know where else. Alright, so we're going to talk about my favorite lip glosses. I know not everyone's a huge fan of Jeffree Star. Not saying you shouldn't or should be, but I'm not gonna lie, this year when I tried the gloss for the first time, it's turned into my favorite lip gloss. They are more expensive, but it's got cool packaging, but also they always have like really beautiful reflex of things. But my favorite thing is the smell. It smells like vanilla. It just smells, or like creme brulee. I don't know, it smells so good. I'm a huge fan of smell good scents for the lips, and it just smells amazing, and it's like soft as can be. It has the perfect doe foot applicator, and I have like 3 of these still from like, you know, when I first bought them this year, and they're just, I don't have a favorite like color specifically. I just really like the formula. It's just really good, and I'd be lying if I said that I didn't really enjoy these. I know like some of you don't really want to support Jeffree Star anymore, and that's fine, but I'm just being honest here that this is something that really stood out to me. I constantly go to. I think I have 3 of them now, one from a mystery box, one I picked up from the Purple Royal collection, and I think I got one with the nude collection. So I just really love these. I think they're so good, especially if you're into kind of the iridescent type of lip glosses. They're so smooth, they're not sticky. It's honestly like the perfect formula, and I'm just not gonna lie about, like, I already have it in my collection, and honestly it impressed me, and it's really good. It's so good. It smells amazing too. But this specific one is in Sorcery, and that one has the cool purple reflex. So my favorite thing, if you guys again watch my channel a lot, you know I love popping like Duochromes, Multichromes on the inner corner, because it really just spices things up. So I think it was this year I decided to start a Multichrome slash Duochrome palette, where I put all my singles from like indie makeup brands. So these are like, this is like my most special palette, to be honest. But it's made up of a bunch of different brands. So we have Lixie, we have Divina, and we even have Give Me Glow, and we have Cleonade. Now my favorite so far I think has been Cleonade, because theirs are just the shiniest things I've ever seen. I heard they're more expensive because they don't use a lot of filler in their products, which is what makes it so shiny. Like, you can literally just tap it and like you get an insane glow. You can swatch it in the dark and still see sparkles. I actually did just do another order with Clionadh. They're all these ones right here. I just did another order with them, so that will be coming in one day. I don't know when, because I think one of my things was on pre-order, so it could take like months. I don't really know. I didn't really pay attention. It'll get here when it gets here. But they are the most shifty, stunning shades I've ever seen. Highly recommend if you're into like duochrome shimmers, you check out Clionadh Cosmetics. However, sometimes you do have to wait a long time. And if you're not a very patient person, then I highly suggest checking out these other brands, because they might not be as top tier as this one, but I think they're much easier to get a hold of and they're cheaper, and the shipping, if you live in the US, won't be as expensive. The first one is Luxie Beauty. I've done reviews on them, and honestly, they're like $3 a shadow, and they're almost just as like reflective and amazing as all the other ones. They're soft. They're honestly like pretty perfect. Like, they're like some of the most amazing duochromes I've ever seen, especially for $3. They're great. Like, they are. I have a whole video on these duochrome shades. These are the Snow Cone collections. I don't even know how I'm going to swatch anymore. I'm a sparkly mess. But they're just like so stunning. So that's Luxie Beauty. A lot of times they do restocks, like they'll sell out and they'll have to do restocks. It's best to follow all these indie makeup brands on Instagram. I feel like that's where they're most, where they update the most. And then there's Davina Cosmetics, and she has like the Willy Wonka exploders, and this one is Kazuko's, and just beautiful, like shifty, perfect for inner corner. Just loving this type of stuff. The one I have on my inner corner today is actually Taffy Bomb from Davina. And just, these just, yeah. I'm so excited, and I can't wait to get more of my Clionadh. Again, I think if I had to choose, it'd probably be Clionadh, but the other ones are really great too. So Multichromes, Duochromes, I'll link all of their shops below. But yeah, I highly suggest following them on Instagram so you can keep up with all the news. One more. I get to choose one more thing. This is gonna be so hard. I have a few things in mind, but which one do I want to say? Which one do I want to do? We're gonna go with this. Okay. The Smoky Glow Midas Cosmetics highlighter. I can't tell you how many times I've used this, how many times I've talked about it being in my favorites. There's just something about it, and perfect for every day. Now, this is more of a subtle highlighter, like I said, for like every day, but it's just really soft, and it's buildable though, so you can get it to look blinding. And it's also like, it's not very powdery or chunky looking, and that is what I love so much about it. Plus, look at the packaging, it's sparkly and cute. I almost didn't want to add this in here just because I am an affiliate with Midas Cosmetics, and I don't want you guys to think I'm like, yeah, buy this from Midas Cosmetics because I'm an affiliate. But I am. You can save 20% off by using my code GLITTER. I make money from it. Not a lot, but I do make money from it. But I also take some of those proceeds to buy a t-shirt for the Ally Project Phoenix, which I'll post down below if you're interested in donating to that cause. Basically, the money ends up going to a local food pantry in Phoenix, and I personally know the owner, and so that's kind of how I support her, but also support a really good cause. So that's what I always buy, a t-shirt with my Midas Cosmetics check. We've been able to donate 2 so far, so I'm like really stoked about that. It actually makes me really happy. Okay, so this has a mirror in it. It's honestly perfect for travel if we ever get to travel again. And here are the 2 shades. I think my favorite is the pink one because I think it's a little, I don't know, I just love pink highlighters. They're so soft. It's ridiculous how soft they are. Now, I'm not gonna lie, when like you see them swatched, it's just kind of like not that exciting. but on the face, like, it just looks so pretty. Like, it just looks so smooth, like glass. Like, it's not like, it's so hard to explain. Like, you just don't see it laying on the skin, which is why it's so hard to like swatch and be like, look how beautiful this is, because it just doesn't read the same as it does once it's on your cheeks. And like, I have some, I'll try putting some on. I have like a bunch of highlighter on my face already, but let's do this. Let's see if you can see it with all my other highlights going on. So I'm going into the pink here. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's such a pretty pink that just blends in with the blush so nicely. I don't know if you could. Okay, so that's what my cheek looks like right now. Has that like duochrome on there. Now let's put the pink on top of that. Can you see that? Anyways, it gives like a very like, I love that how the pink like blends into blush, especially with like my skin tone. So I just really like it this year. I don't know. Not that, I mean, I'm pretty sure it came out this year. But also the gold, sometimes I like will mix them. I'm gonna be like super, it'll be so sparkly. Sometimes I'll mix them. And yeah, that's been one of my favorites, and that is everything. So I think I'm gonna do a top 5 favorite palettes, which is gonna be really hard. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see how it goes. To guess down below what my favorite palettes will be. And also let us know what some of your favorite products are of 2020, and maybe I'll have to try them out. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like this video if you enjoy content like this. Let me know what other things you'd like to see for next year, and I hope you guys are doing well, and thank you for everything you have done for me by supporting me this year. It means so much, and I appreciate each and every one of you. And that's it. I'm just feeling really thankful and really grateful. You guys have a wonderful Christmas if I don't get a video out before then. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.